Hi, welcome to A Bite of Mystery, where we talk about controversies and mysteries in pop culture and social media. Today, I'm your host, Kisha, and I'm here with my two co hosts, Abby and Lily. And of course, our wonderful editor, Andre. Say hi, Andre.
Hello. I don't have a phone on me. This is a wooden block with like writing on it.
And today, we'll start off with our weekly trivia that, of course, you are welcome to join in on.
Yay!
This-
Yay!
This one took me a while to muster up to get the words for.
I
Since
bet.
some challenges are malicious, what does the creator of the challenge gain from them being malicious?
Fame.
Yeah, it's honestly just like the popularity.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I guess just like that kind of feeling like, oh, a whole bunch of people are doing the same thing that I did, even though it might not be great. They're like, I started that.
Maybe they want to hurt people.
Yeah, maybe
it's like
they
a
are
weird
malicious.
fetish thing. Yeah.
It's like a malicious thing.
I didn't think about that. There's a lot of fetish content.
Yeah, I mean,
Ew. All right.
I wouldn't use
Well,
that word.
I feel like that's a pretty good lead into our topic of the day, which is the awful trends or like challenges, I guess,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that have been going on throughout the years.
mm-hmm.
For example, we'll start with mine. For example, it's like the cinnamon challenge.
Mhm.
Not one of the worst ones we have on here. I think it's actually the easiest
actually
one.
tame.
Probably is.
Yeah, the most tame.
Yeah, that's like and okay, so if you don't know, the cinnamon challenge was you would just take a spoonful of cinnamon, like and it had a mountain of cinnamon on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you would put it in your mouth and you couldn't cough.
Mm-hmm.
You had to swallow it all and like you had to be fine.
Yeah.
But the problem was when you do things like that, especially with cinnamon, it can really mess up your like digestive and lungs and stuff. Like you would inhale that and you could get really sick from that.
Yeah, like it coats your mouth because it's dry, like it's a
And you-
powder.
And
So, like-
they won't let you drink water either until the video's over.
Well, also like if you're doing it alone, like you have to make
You-
sure that you have water. In
Yeah.
case, because like you just
And
what's
like
the opposite of drowning? Like you
Dehydrate?
suffocate. Yeah,
Suffocating?
it just like you know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah.
safe.
Do we know who created that? Wasn't it Glozella or something? What's her name? The
Um,
green lady?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. She's really weird. Like
Yeah.
not weird, but like creepy.
I don't know, yeah.
She'll like eat things.
I feel like, you guys know the one chip challenge?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've done that personally.
Yeah.
Hasn't there been stories of people dying from that?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No.
yeah,
definitely.
because they don't
But I feel
take
like-
into account whether or not it's a good idea.
I don't think. Hey, I don't think this
No,
necessarily.
I'm saying you did it within a controlled environment. People will just do it without thinking of the effect that it might have it on your body, you know.
I feel like that wasn't really like one person making that a thing though.
I think
That's
that
a
was,
whole-
like-
it's a whole company.
Didn't that start with like a restaurant at first and then it became a company?
Probably.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
I think it did start with a restaurant.
Well,
It's
another
awful.
challenge though, the ice bucket challenge. Yet another tamish one.
Mhm.
But I do remember people getting hypothermia or like concussions from
really?
the ice
Mhm.
itself. The ice bucket challenge, once again, it's you get this giant bucket or like some people had coolers, like beer coolers,
Yeah.
beverage coolers, forgive me. And you fill it with water, but a lot of the time it would just be mostly ice and you
Mhm.
would dump it on someone. It's just supposed to be like, oh, if someone can go through this cold thing, like that's so cool, like a small little mini challenge, which was pretty
Yeah.
much harmless until people were putting blocks of ice in there
Yeah.
and they were doing it in the winter and it was bad.
that
Sorry, go ahead.
that challenge actually had a lot of good intention behind it.
Yeah, like, I
because
thought-
It
was,
it did.
Yeah.
It was cancer awareness.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I thought it like stood for something, but I couldn't remember what it was. So it was
No,
cancer.
It was.
Yes.
A celebrity would be like, "I'm doing the ice bucket challenge," and then they pour it on their head, and then be like, "I nominate The
Yeah.
Rock to do it."
Yeah. Like at first it was very nice, but as we've learned
It-
from
with-
episodes,
with the internet.
ghost episodes, that someone always has to ruin something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Are we gonna apologize for that ever?
What?
The ghost episode.
The ghost episode, the lost media.
Oh.
Speaking of controversies, there is a current lost episode for those of you who don't know.
Womp womp.
This is technically
Weep
episode
womp.
5, not 4. Yeah, it is technically episode 5, but some things happened, and we lost footage and audio.
You may be able to see it eventually, though. If
In the
the
future.
computer
Eventually, but for now, it's going to be the ghost episode.
The
I
Lost
think.
Media is being
yeah.
sold on eBay for $70.
Uh-huh.
Wish. Sorry.
And we'd like to apologize for that. So sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
I guess you'll never see Lily's first hosting episode.
Don't worry, it wasn't very good.
No, it was.
I think it was good.
A few people were at fault.
All right. So,
I have 2 challenges. Can I
yeah,
say one of
go
them?
ahead.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you guys know the blackout challenge?
Yes.
Yes.
What? Why? Okay.
That's,
Anyway,
that's
it
when it
was-
got out of hand.
it was a challenge where you would literally choke someone or just like hold your breath until you pass out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I heard of that.
I get kids
What?
doing it in the pool, like, oh, I can hold my breath for this long. Like, that was cool. That was
Yeah.
just kids playing around. But when you're choking someone out or you're refusing, like, you're going past your self limitations. You're not.
I remember my mom, she texted me. She was like, "Do not do the blackout challenge."
It's
like,
like, why?
yeah.
Why? Like, what's the point? I
just
don't
for fun, I
understand.
guess. To
Another,
get some fame.
speaking of the blackout challenge, you've mentioned your mom not telling you to not do the blackout challenge.
Hmm.
I forgot about the eraser challenge until you said that. You know the eraser challenge where you,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I think I do.
that
So,
What
was-
is that one?
the
I know
eraser
about it.
challenge was where you would take the back of an end of a pencil and you take your hand and you'd scrub away your skin. And I remember my mom saw the scar on my hand. It's actually gone now, guys. It was there for 4 years before it
Hmm.
disappeared. But my mom saw it on my skin and she's like, "You did the challenge?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, cuz I was one of those kids who just kind of went along with it because everyone was doing it." I'm not too proud of that. But then my mom admitted, "I tried to do it, but I chickened out." I'm like, "So you're yelling at me when you did this too?"
It's weird.
That's weird. How even parents get roped
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
I think I tried it. I like did it with a small eraser, and then after like 5 seconds, I was like, "This isn't working," and stopped.
I like
no, like,
I went ham.
I didn't know how hard or long I was supposed to do it, so I was
Yeah.
just like, "Okay."
Have
So-
you guys heard? Oh, sorry. Have you heard of the, I think it's like the blue whale challenge.
Mm.
I think I watched a whole 30-minute video on it like 3 years
Well,
ago.
I'm not sure if it's essentially a challenge, but there would be. Do you know anything about it? Wasn't there these social media accounts and they had like a certain profile picture and they would text children and eventually like manipulate them into like telling them to kill themselves or kill their family and just like why?
So it's like there's just like a cult
Mm.
thing like online.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the postage challenge where people would mail themselves?
Oh yeah,
Mail.
no.
Yeah.
A lot of it was
Well,
faked, but
yeah.
there was some people who actually mailed themselves across the country.
Really?
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
There would be like police reports they found someone dead or they arrested someone because that's the dumbest thing ever.
Who actually thinks that's a good idea? Like,
The
do
kids
you
wanting
want
to see
to
their
die?
idols.
Yeah, I don't know. And like when I was like looking up like dangerous ones, that another one was the Bird Box challenge, which I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh my, yeah, I knew
It's-
about that.
It's
Yeah.
literally you just cross the street blindfolded
Why?
because like Bird Box, like the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people think they can do things. It's not recognizing your limitations once again. It's
So weird.
you think you can do something, but you don't think about should you do it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Always think about that.
I put one on the dock. I forget what it's called. I think it's called like Skull Crusher School.
Skull. it
Skull
was
breaker.
Skull. Yeah.
It's where you have 3 people and you get in a line.
Mm.
And well, I guess essentially it's a prank. So the person in the middle, I think they jump or something, and then the other 2 people will kick their legs out and they will like fall like on their head like skull,
Yikes.
And I've heard like parents suing. I think they tried to sue a school district because it happened at school.
What?
And
Mm.
it was just crazy. Like, why? That's not a prank. Harming your friend. They could die.
Yeah,
and-
I don't.
Just a
understand.
prank.
And yeah, that's just another thing. That's just another example of letting media influence your day-to-day life. Like if you think something like that is a good idea, step back, take a second. Like I always say, step back,
Yeah.
take a second and really think about, is this worth it?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times social media will encourage the wrong things, like, and nothing is being done about it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think we should go back in time, the 1930s, and talk about the first. I don't want to say first ever challenge, but it was basically like a crowd of people would crowd around like a telephone box. What are they called? Like those telephone boxes,
A telephone booth.
telephone booth. Yeah. Basically, they would see how many people you can crap in there.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a
In
thing.
there.
I was worried about where you were taking
No.
that.
Stuff in there, and it would like people would actually get crushed. It was terrible.
Oh, and another one. I think this was 80s or 90s. The flash mob. It wasn't really considered a challenge until later on. The flash mob challenge. Have you ever guys heard?
No.
Have you ever guys heard
of
that?
it, but I don't remember what it is.
It's where you start randomly dancing and like you get a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of people to move all at once, and it's
Yeah.
a huge group, and even people who aren't on the idea initially will join in. But the problem was because these groups would get so big. That's why they're outlawed now, because they're so big. In some places they are.
Yeah. It's like,
Because they're so big, like they would shove people into walls, push them down the escalators, like malls, stuff like that. They would injure people by accident.
so it's like not an actual like it's not like an actual flash mob. It's not planned. It's like
It's like some of it is planned,
Hmm.
but the rest of like they plan out the dance and things like that. They'll use a dance that's from a music video, go at it, and then whatever happens after that is like out to the wind. Like
so people would just take it too far. of
yeah,
course, as
another.
always. Yeah.
Your mic is unhooked.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yay!
Yay,
Welcome back.
technicalities! Woohoo!
So,
Yes. I'm so glad you're back with us.
Yeah.
She kind of fell into the void.
so
Lost in the
obviously
sauce.
dangerous challenges have been going on for a while.
Why do we? Why? Like, why do people
Well,
start?
Yeah, what is the push towards it?
I know I said fame, but like even back in the day, what are you getting out of it? Fun?
Exactly. But like, okay, did you guys ever like watch them? Because I never want to watch that type of.
I
YouTube.
watched them because I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
So okay, so you watched it. 'cause you
sure,
were
they
like,
would be
why
funny
people
when they
watch
were low key. When they were low key, like the ice bucket. If it's mostly water and just ice, I was like, oh, okay, I wouldn't do that. It's
Mhm.
cold. Or like the cinnamon challenge, like, ew.
Yeah.
But it's you have to question like what's the impulsive.
I feel like you know how people will
Impulsive-
go wrong.
Hold on. What's that word?
Impulsive?
Impulsivity.
Yeah. That word. Sorry, keep going.
You know how people will go like rock climbing or go on like mountains and like
Yeah.
just do dangerous things. I feel like maybe that's why they just want
The thrill,
Adrenaline.
the
yeah,
adrenaline.
yeah.
Adrenaline junkies. Like
Could be,
I get
yeah.
it.
It's like
I
a form of
love
it.
that feeling of adrenaline, but if I'm going to die,
Yeah, I just
No.
don't and I don't understand wanting to watch it either. Like, why would you want to watch someone pass out? Like,
Yeah, I
don't know.
can't watch it.
I don't
oh,
get it.
those
Yeah.
when it gets to that point, I just stop. Like I can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not like
Oh,
a silly little stupid prank like that. Those like you said, like, why are you doing this? That's why you watch it. Like,
you know, a challenge that was harmless,
what?
the mannequin challenge.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did it in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
From the cafeteria I didn't even know this was happening. We were just eating lunch and they just went, everyone pick a pose and don't move. And I was like, okay. And I had my sandwich like halfway in my mouth. And then I saw them recording like, we're doing the mannequin challenge.
You know, one I guess it could be kind of dangerous depending on how you do it. What was it called? Someone would just scream, "Andy's coming!"
Yeah.
and then you would fall.
You'd fall.
Yeah.
Toy
I feel like
Story
You
thing.
have to be careful.
Yeah, I feel like there's times where
I
it could
feel
have
like
been
that was a
dangerous.
lot more like it was a lot more safer. It was in a much more
Yeah.
controlled environment, but it was like still.
I was a couple weeks ago during our morning class, Abby. I think I mentioned this. one challenge. It wasn't really a they called it a challenge. I don't think it's much of a challenge.
Okay.
The Facebook rocks that people would paint and then hide in public, and then you would post it on Facebook like, "Oh, I found this," and then you
Oh, yeah.
hide it in a
I
different
still
place.
find them.
Yeah, I used to
I
do
still
that with
find
my
them. I still
mom.
have one of them.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Really?
You haven't? My mom and I loved it
Yeah.
so much. Like,
Me and my mom would go and like find rocks to paint.
mhm.
Yeah, we did that too. You just like paint rocks and you hide them.
One
Yeah,
of the-
and you would put a thing on the back saying like, "Oh, if you found me, post me on Facebook," and then like hide me again.
I think that's just called geocaching.
Yeah, well, geocaching's also fun. but-
Yeah.
One of the stupidest challenges, other than like the ones that literally have you die, I've seen is you just set yourself on fire.
That's so
I've
funny.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Like I've seen a video of someone just setting themselves on fire. Like that's the
Lucas
challenge.
Core.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't get it.
For
Because it's like,
I feel like I have to explain my joke because
no, you know,
for those of you who don't know, and hopefully maybe soon enough I can get him on a phone call and we
That'd
can
be
interview
great.
him. We have a friend named Lucas. I can't say his last name because like we said
Actually,
before in a past episode,
Privacy.
privacy always counts.
the last name is actually Donkik.
No.
I was about to like yell at you. Anyways, our friend Lucas, he doesn't set himself on fire. He has a pair of shoes. I don't even know what they originally were.
Air
Air
Forces.
Forces.
He had a pair of Air Forces, and they are so old and beat up. He has colored them. He has changed the laces to zip ties. The entire back end of both shoes are gone, so it's just slides.
Yeah, there's slides now.
Now the toes are broken. He's thinking about gluing them or sewing them, but there are multiple burn marks on them from times where we had bonfires, and Lucas would just set his shoes on fire.
See, now
Why
this is an
not?
example of a dangerous challenge.
Yes.
Exactly.
The Lucas challenge, where you and we're not
Let's
saying this is a new
not.
thing.
We're not starting a
and we're not starting
Do
this.
not set your shoes on fire.
I take this back. I'm
Do
not gonna. I'm
not.
not even gonna explain that.
Man.
If he ever listens to our podcast,
New challenge just dropped.
stop.
New
He's
challenge.
gonna be so proud when he
Halfway
listens to
foot.
this episode.
This podcast is like promotes what we don't want. Like, the opposite of what we're trying.
Someone takes a clip out of context.
You guys, because we always do this. Do you guys remember the Twilight Challenge?
Okay.
I was actually gonna bring that up.
Do you know what I'm talking?
Is it? Well, I remember because it came in my head, the Twilight challenge, but I have no clue what it is. But I remember hearing it.
At least my version that my brother like had experience growing through high school. I don't know if it was an official. I think it was just our area. People tried to like it was a week-long challenge where they tried to live just off of animal blood.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I was
What?
I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, we ingest it in the meat. I get that, but just that?
No, don't do that.
I feel
What
like
do you
there's
think?
been a lot of challenges where people will they will like go a week with only drinking water or not drinking water or not eating or like
People are just pushing the boundaries of how far their body can go. I get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't
No.
get it.
what if we just stop? I think that'll fix the problems. Just,
Stop doing challenges.
Yeah, just stop.
I mean, I'm doing an art challenge right now, though.
So,
yes,
well,
Andre. No more challenges 2024.
Andre,
challenge,
no more challenges.
challenges.
Try not to challenge our patience.
Okay.
Hey.
Guys, we actually love Andre. I want to point that out.
Wow.
All right. Well, now that I've insulted him, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Weep womp.
The Daily Andre insult.
All right. This was a bite of mystery. And until the next rabbit hole, we'd like to thank you and
Yay.
see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't do challenges.